There are increasing signs tonight that the Prime Minister is considering resigning, perhaps as soon as tomorrow. At least 4 cabinet ministers are known to have urged Sir Keir Starmer to set a timetable for his departure. US President Trump earlier today claimed that Sir Keir was resigning, saying in a social media post that he had failed badly, but he wished him well. The pressure on Sir Keir has been intense since Andy Burnham's convincing win in the Makerfield by-election. In a victory speech on Friday, Mr Burnham said this is the change moment. He hasn't spoken publicly since then. Let's go straight to Downing Street and our political correspondent Joe Pike. Joe.
Jane, perhaps one of the tragedies of Sir Keir Starmer's premiership is he looks likely to be leaving here at the very moment there are signs that parts of the public sector are improving. Yet there's also a set of statistics which shows a deep, downward, irrecoverable trajectory. That, of course, is the PM's personal popularity, and that is one central reason why his time here now seems to be at an end. The last time we saw the PM in public on Friday, his political empire was already crumbling. Are you going to be involved in a leadership contest or not?
Well, there isn't a leadership contest at the moment. There isn't one at the moment. But as I've said on many occasions, I don't think that's a good thing for the country. But if there is a contest, just to be clear with you, then yes, I will run.
Yet today, the cabinet minister sent out to bat on his behalf didn't rule out a resignation.
He's also taken the time to think through what the political realities are today compared to last week, the week before. But I know that he's a Prime Minister who always puts country first, and that he'll be framing every decision that he makes today on behalf of the country in his day-to-day job as Prime Minister, but also when he thinks about the party going forward.
At least 4 senior ministers, the Energy Secretary, Home Secretary, Transport Secretary and Foreign Secretary, have now told Sir Keir it's over.
It feels like we've come to the end of the road, and that actually just it being as dignified as possible and allowed to be in Keir Starmer's gift a little bit does seem like the very best solution.
Donald Trump certainly thinks he's finished. On social media, the president wrote, Keir Starmer will resign as Prime Minister of the UK. He failed badly on 2 very important subjects, immigration and energy. Open North Sea oil. I wish him well. It is unclear what prompted that intervention. Number 10 say the 2 leaders have not spoken this weekend. Every conversation I've had with senior figures in this government point to one probable eventuality. That the man who walked down this street victorious less than 2 years ago may soon be heading in the opposite direction, his authority drained away. And to be honest, many in Labour are now not talking about Keir Starmer, but who and what could be next.
2 years. 2 years.
Will former Health Secretary Wes Streeting be true to his word and stand?
Hello, Prime Minister.
Or will a contest be replaced with a coronation, with the man dubbed the King of the North swiftly getting the crown?
We need an economy that works for everybody, not a few in far-off places from here. What a team.
Andy Burnham won a mandate in Makerfield thanks to 25,000 Labour voters. But what about the other 70 million or so people in the UK?
If we've got a change of direction, are we basically still supporting the manifesto that we were all elected on? Yes. Or is this a radical departure?
So we've been too slow and too timid, and this political moment with global turmoil demands the sorts of boldness and urgency of change.
No, but when I answer your...
The scrutiny Andy Burnham has faced hasn't left all Labour MPs impressed.
Can you remind us what the fiscal rules are?
I'm not going to go through a discussion like an exam on the fiscal rules. I know what the fiscal rules are. I've been very clear about it. We will set out a plan that is within those rules so that we keep the discipline.
If successful, what might Burnham do on social care, defence funding or tax? It's not quite clear. But for now, the focus is on the next steps of the man on course to be the shortest-serving Labour Prime Minister in history. Joe Pike, BBC News, Downing Street.
And our political editor, Chris Mason, is here. We're entering a new week. What might tomorrow bring, Chris?
Good question. Senior figures I've talked to tonight have said the tectonic plates are moving, a political earthquake is imminent. So the Prime Minister spent the weekend with his wife, chewing things over. The widespread expectation from within government and from within the wider Labour Party is that we could hear from him as soon as tomorrow morning. Why is there that sense? ultimately, his defiance has drained away because his capacity to govern viably has drained away. As we heard there from Joe, cabinet ministers saying to him privately, but letting it be known publicly, that they think he should set out that timetable. And so that's what we expect that he is likely to do. The question in terms of the timing for him comes down to this. Does he want to try and get ahead of what might come if he doesn't act quickly? So barrelling down on the West Coast main line towards London Euston tomorrow, one Andy Burnham. He will be sworn in as an MP, and there will be a growing expectation from the minute he arrives around what might happen next. From the Prime Minister's perspective, robbed as he has been of so much of his authority, the one element of agency he retains is being able to control what he says next and when. And if he were to speak tomorrow morning, he would be doing so before the arrival of Andy Burnham, setting out some sort of timetable. Of course, what he then says and what then happens is a whole other set of questions.
Yes, and what could that timetable then be in the coming days and weeks?
Well, quite. So does the Prime Minister say that he's going very, very quickly? Does he set some timetable towards the autumn, towards September? Is it something somewhere in between? We should be absolutely clear. As and when he says something, and by the way, throughout today, with all of the reporting that's been going on, including the intervention of President Trump, there's not been a peep from anyone official in Downing Street to suggest that there is anything, in any sense, any of that is wrong. The timing will mean he's not going to disappear as Prime Minister instantly. He would be saying he'd be standing down as the Labour Party leader, creating a vacancy, allowing there to be a leadership race for the leadership of the Labour Party, and because they can command a majority in Parliament, then that leader, the new leader, would become Prime Minister. The question then is how long the party wants, how long Andy Burnham might want. Some in his team wanting it to run long because they want more time, others suggesting it could be quicker. Who else might want to stand? Does Andy Burnham have an overwhelming amount of support in Parliament or not? All of that will play into the next little while. We could end up with a new Prime Minister very, very quickly, or it may take a little longer.